Right, we have some breaking news that's coming in from Goa. And trouble for Congress in Goa. Sources indicate 8 Congress MLAs are likely to join the BJP today. Now, rebellion despite taking anti-defection oath prior state elections. Now, in fact, the latest picture shows some of the biggest names in Goa Congress sitting with Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant. Now, Digambar Kaamat, Michael Lopo are among the leaders likely to defect. So a big setback for the Congress in Goa. 8 Congress MLAs are likely to join the BJP, and we are displaying those visuals on your screen which show Congress leaders, in fact, in a photograph with Goa Chief Minister over there. And we are displaying those visuals which show some of the biggest names in Goa Congress sitting with Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant. And amongst them are Digambar Kaamat and Michael Lopo. These are amongst the leaders who are likely to, in fact, defect. So big Congress trouble brewing there for the Congress party in Goa. 8 Congress MLAs are likely to join the BJP. And we are displaying those visuals on your screen, which shows the Goa Chief Minister, in fact, his photograph with Congress netas. And remember, this is despite the anti-defection oath which the Congress leaders, in fact, took prior to the polls. So the Goa Congress there facing a rebellion. Sources indicate 8 Congress MLAs are likely to join the BJP today. And the breaking update we are getting to you, the latest picture which we are displaying to you on your television screens is of Goa Chief Minister being photographed with the Congress netas. And going straight across to my colleague Ketan, who is joining us live on the broadcast for more on this. Ketan, a big setback for the Congress there. We are displaying for our viewers a photograph where we can clearly see Goa Chief Minister sitting with Congress netas.
Ashna, because this is a complete redux of what had happened last time when Congress was the single largest party. It had 16 MLAs, and then as time progressed in a year and a half, almost more than 2/3 of its MLAs jumped ship. Now what we are hearing is 8 MLAs this time. So the Goa is a Goa has 40 seats in the Legislative Assembly, out of which BJP has won 20 odd seats and Congress had won 12 seats. And it is very interesting that I remember speaking with P. Chidambaram, senior Congress leader who was in charge of Goa, and he had taken the candidates to temples and churches and given them a vow that they won't ditch the party. But what we are hearing is former Chief Minister of Goa and the senior-most leader of Congress, Digambar Kaamat, along with Michael Lopo, Delilah Lobo, Rajesh Phaldesai, Kedar Naik, Sankalp Amonkar, and Aleixo Sequeira, and Rudolf Fernandes. These are 8 names that are floating right now from sources that they are going to join BJP. So what this conclusively means is, A, as I said, it's a redux of the past. 2, this will strengthen BJP, and 3, there will be no anti-defection law here, because out of 12, if 8 MLAs are jumping ship, then it meets and joining another party, it meets the requirement of anti-defection law. So out of 40, you will see 28 MLAs sitting and representing BJP on the floor of the House.
Right, Ketan, if you could also give us any details, if you have, of what really triggered this likely exit of Congress MLAs. And we are also being joined by my colleague Arunil on the broadcast for more on this.
Yes, Ashna. Goa, and they were very confident that this time their candidates will remain with the Congress party, but that doesn't look to be happening after the elections.
Right. Going back to my colleague Ketan, who was going to take us through the details of what really is the trigger to these possible exits.
Again, it's the same problem that is plaguing the Congress party nationally. It's the old guard versus new guard. Rahul had instituted a new leadership. There were many young leaders, and there were leaders that were representing all the communities that were given leadership in the Congress, and this didn't go well with Digambar Kaamat. So he was going upset for a while, and if you remember, a month and a half back, there were very strong rumors that he may quit then. But then the party leadership somehow quelled the discontent and ensured that all remained well with the party. But now again, there have been a fresh kind of line of talks that the BJP opened with this rebel MLAs, and one can see that Michael Lopo, who had earlier gone to BJP and returned back to Congress before, and Goa is actually known for this desertions and moving from one party to another. Only thing is, in the last 10 years or decade or so, Congress is at the receiving end, and one is seeing history repeating itself, and out of 12, 8 MLAs. So virtually the strong opposition that the Congress could render on the floor of the House, the opposition is literally rendered useless. There will be just 4 MLAs of the Congress party, and then so a few MLAs will remain as the opposition party. And as I reiterated, or for all the viewers who have joined in late, out of 40, the BJP will have a floor strength of 28 if at the end of the day this comes true, and 8 Congress MLAs led by the Digambar Kaamat, former Chief Minister, Congress Chief Minister of Goa, joins the flock.
Right, Ketan, many thanks for joining us with all those details. So a big setback of sorts for the Congress party there in Goa, and we are bringing you those visuals which we are displaying on your screen, which in fact show some of the biggest names in Goa Congress sitting with Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant, and going straight across to my colleague Aruni for more on this.
So they're trying to speak to all these candidates. At that time, these leaders had kept quiet, but only within 6 months we are seeing that 8 out of the 11 elected MLAs have decided that the Congress party itself should not hold ground in the state of Goa. The Congress party itself should merge with the BJP. A big setback, because Digambar Kaamat, if you speak about him, he has been a former CM representing the Congress party in the state of Goa, extremely senior.
All right, they're a big setback for the Congress in Goa, and 8 Congress MLAs all set are likely to join the BJP, and we are getting you those latest visuals which we are displaying on your television screens. Goa Chief Minister being photographed with the Congress netas.